Oh my goodness, what's going on? Hey, hi guys. I'm just kidding. What is up, Fireflower gals, Tanuki flying guys? This is the Nintendo Fever podcast, the podcast that will cool that fever that you have for all things Nintendo. We are a weekly show on YouTube and on Twitch every single Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. No matter what, Collie, we are like the Postal Service. We will literally do this show no matter what is going on at all. Thank you so much, Benjamin, for showing up. I saw Blind Hostility a second ago. My name is Matt, and joined with me is my always patient co-host, Holly. Holly, how are you doing this week?
Doing great. It's
Awesome.
been just another week, but a good one.
Okay, so I got to tell you right now, everyone watching live, this is going to be a mess. This is going to be a massacre. This is going to be really, really crazy, okay? I'm warning you. I'm warning you that things are not going to go as you may hope they will go, because it will just be a little bit odd this time.
Because the neighbor's kids are loose.
Yes, the neighbor. No, they're my kids. So normally what happens is my wife will watch our kids during this time period, which is always good. But in this scenario, my oldest daughter had a basketball tryout or a volleyball tryout. And so my wife was actually able to pay attention to my daughter doing the tryout. I decided that I would keep my children with me while I did the show. And now they're watching.
Good at you.
And now
nobody can diss you for that.
And now they are watching The Emperor's New Groove as I'm trying to record this podcast. Yay. Okay, so I'm gonna have Holly. I'm gonna rely a lot on Holly this week, making sure that she can help out with everything that we're gonna be going through. So,
just kidding.
Before it gets too crazy, let's go ahead and talk about recent swag, new things that have been purchased and bought. I actually have a small slideshow set up so that we can see that sort of thing upon us. Let me turn it all on. There we go.
You got my little Starlink toys.
I do.
In that slideshow, right?
I do, but the very first one I have is actually from Gentis. He got the Diablo Special Edition Nintendo Switch. He already had a Nintendo Switch, didn't he? Did he get this as a secondary Switch?
Yeah, I believe so. Although I feel like I've heard from Gentis that he might have like the heater vent crack thing going on, like a lot of people do. So,
Huh. I wonder.
But maybe I'm mistaken. A lot of people have complained about that.
Yes,
it might not be Gentis.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe he had decided to replace his current Switch. I didn't know if that was if that was something that he had decided to or not. I wasn't sure. Next, we have some pictures from Blind Hostility, always rocking it with those indie game gems. This is Saturday Morning RPG. Have you heard about this game, Holly?
I'm afraid not.
Oh, Holly, I think you should look it up. It's
not that I can remember.
Very 16-bit beat 'em up RPG. It's really cool looking, very interesting, very retro and inspired. Obviously, it's like 80s and 90s kind of. Very cool. Look it up if you haven't.
Saturday morning anything combined into one thing.
Exactly. Saturday morning. I think it's called Saturday Morning RPG. I think that's the full title name. Next, we have Holly. This was submitted by user Holly. She has a lot of really, really cool toys. A lot of cool toys. Walk us through these a little bit, Holly. Tell us about these toys you got.
Well, I got some more Starlink toys to play with in my Starlink game, including 2 new spaceships. And the spaceship packs come with a pilot that kind of goes with that spaceship and 1 weapon. Mm-hmm. So... and then I also got a weapon pack, which brings me, I believe, up to like 6 weapons, 3 different full-size spaceships, and 4 or 5 maybe pilots.
Mm-hmm. Now
I can't actually see the picture, so otherwise I would count myself.
Yeah, I see. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 pilots is what it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weapons.
Oh, yes.
1, 2, 3 ships, and obviously quite a few
matching wings.
Yeah, matching wings. My kids are literally trying to make things difficult right now. They paused their television show. I apologize if you hear anything chaotic and crazy. That's them just doing it on purpose. Yes, Olivia, I see you. You're doing it on purpose. Oh my goodness. Let's go to the next thing. This is from Gentis. User Gentis with a submission this time. He is showing off his awesome looking Legend of Zelda umbrella. This is pretty cool looking. This is in our Discord.
Yeah.
As well. If you did not know, then we actually have a Discord that we run for the Nintendo Fever podcast. There will be a link in the description below, so go and check that out. I'm sure you were a pretty big fan of this this umbrella, were you not?
Oh, undoubtedly. I'm wondering if like, and maybe Steve/Gentis, if you're in the chat, like maybe let us know, like, is this like a Master Sword umbrella stick that you can kind of like add any kind of umbrella to, or is it all Zelda Master Sword themed? If so, we got to see it like, out so we
Yes.
can see the design of the actual
Well,
thing that goes over your head like this.
and if you look at the picture, which I can zoom in a little bit on my computer for the people watching at home, get out of here, girls. They're getting behind me now. I swear we agreed that they would like stay on their side of the office and watch their television show. This is not going according to plan. Go.
That is okay. Kids are the greatest.
If you look at the picture,
if I was like in charge of this tech stuff, I could just like take over. But I'm afraid that I'm not even seeing these pictures right now.
Yes. If you look at the picture, though, if people watching at home when you watch it later or whatever, or if you go back and look at the picture on the Discord, you'll actually see like a strap that almost looks like a leather strap. I really do wonder if this is like either a custom-made umbrella, like something he did himself or got customly made, or possibly bought it as a custom. Obviously, like I think that this is either fully Zelda'd out or not Zelda out at all, one or the other. I'm not sure. And I believe that's it. That is all for our recent swag. Sadly, I did not get any recent swag. I did pick up some new video games. We'll be talking about that during what we've been playing. But let's go ahead and jump into some other things going on.
I didn't post a picture of it, but I did get the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate GameCube controller design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because those came out today, so mine got delivered today. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. If not, that's okay. It's a GameCube controller with a Smash logo on it, kind of.
Give me just 1 second, Holly, if you don't mind talking about what you have been playing. Then
sure.
I'm sure all the listeners would enjoy that.
Okay, so I have been playing Starlink, and I talked about this last week, but slightly, only briefly, kinda. I feel like I didn't actually get a chance to talk that much about Starlink. So Starlink, it's a spaceship game, a Toys to Life game. It almost has some RPG-like elements where you're upgrading things and upgrading everything. In fact, your pilots have skills, your ships can level up, your weapons can level up, every piece of your ship, in fact, like the body, the wings, and of course the weapons, like I say, everything levels up. And if you don't know what Starlink is, it's a Toys to Life game in the vein of Skylanders and Disney Infinity and I guess Lego Dimensions. So even though that kind of sector of this industry was seemingly dying out, and maybe it still is, and this is kind of a one-off, I don't know. But this is a Toys to Life game where you've got like a controller, a special like controller holder. It's not too difficult to do with the Nintendo Switch because you can just have the Joy-Cons slide into it. But you've got like a mount for your ship. You put a pilot on there first. You can put a ship over the pilot, put some wings on the ship and some weapons. Hey, Matt, are you back?
I am. I'm back now. You should
rambling at this one. No, I'm just kidding.
I was
talking about like the modular aspect of the Toys to Life.
Cool.
Starlink. And how you can like mix and match ships and weapons and things like that. That's just what I was just getting into. So, and
awesome.
Then that ship that you build like physically, if you want the physical editions of these things, that ship that you build physically on your little controller mount actually is what you're piloting in the game, which is really cool. And everything happens really quick. When you take off like a piece of your ship during the game, it'll take you to the start menu, as you know, Matt, I'm sure, so that you can kind of readjust and whatnot. So it doesn't happen like entirely on the fly, but it's real quick. You can just kind of put whatever you want on there, add some mods to it. That's another thing that makes it kind of like an almost RPG-like game, is that you can further customize, not just by leveling up pieces of your ship, but you can also attach mods to them, which gives them special abilities.
Yeah.
So you can customize your play style that way, and then you go out into the field, and there's like combat missions, there's like little fetch quests that you can do to upgrade things. And I mean, fetch quests is usually not like a good thing when you mention fetch quests, but I mean, this is just my type of game where you're constantly upgrading things and building and kind of expanding the game in terms of leveling things up.
Are you very close to finishing the game?
Oh, not even at all.
Okay.
I'm still a college student.
Mm.
So I've played, I don't know, I actually don't know exactly how much I've played, like over 5 or 6 hours at least, I would say.
I'm
But I've
still,
been messing around with it more than anything.
yeah, I'm still within the first like maybe 3 hours of it. I want to say, but I have definitely enjoyed messing around with it. I want to play it more. It literally sits out on my desk where I have my Switch set up at all times so that I'm ready to play it at all times and stuff. Obviously, you can play it digitally, which is just whatever you have. Whatever you've purchased and played in the game at any given time, then you can use that digitally as well, basically, which is cool. That way, when I do want to take it with me to, around and stuff, I don't have to worry about taking this big honking thing with me. I can still play it in the handheld mode, obviously, which is great.
The funny thing is, though, if you unlock like ship parts and pilots and things like that with the physical things,
mhm.
then they will only remain in your game digitally for 7 days.
Okay, I did not know that.
Until, yeah,
That
isn't that funny? I'm
it's
like, well, I paid
anti-theft.
for this, so
But it's
I feel
anti-theft
like
is the problem. Is they don't want you to like go to your friend's house, right? Like me go to your house and then like hook everything up on my Switch, and then it's like, oh, I don't need to go buy any of this stuff. Now it's just automatically in my game.
yeah, heaven forbid it should be like Mario Kart 8 where you
Yeah.
can scan in all your friends' amiibos and just get all those amiibo costumes that way and
It's
keep them forever.
Anti-theft is all it is, Holly. Blind Hostility has a really good question, which I want the answer to this question, honestly. The question is, do you hope there will be more DLC for this? So far there's no actual DLC, like downloadable content, yes, but that's like negated by the fact that it's like Toys to Life, so it's kind of like a weird middle ground between downloadable content and like physical content that gets accessible in the game as well. But do you, Holly, want to see would you buy a story pack DLC if there was something that furthered the story in some obviously you haven't finished the story, so you don't even know if you like the story, but like even today, like Star Fox story, I don't know if you've beaten that one, but it's obviously a very short story in comparison to the entirety of the game. Would you buy like Star Fox Season 2, or what about like Metroid story pack that included like a Metroid figurine, a Metroid ship, and a Metroid story? I don't even know why I'm asking you. Of course we would buy that. That sounds amazing.
That definitely, but other types of DLC, because I'm such a fangirl. I feel like Nintendo fangirl, because I mean, if it's Nintendo content,
Never.
like bam, I'm getting
Never. Just kidding.
even if I haven't beaten, even if I haven't beaten the game and whatnot. Like I feel like DLC, and I've learned this almost the hard way in some cases, is like you play the main game to its fullest potential, and at that point you love it, and you know that you're gonna love the DLC. But sometimes DLC sellers, as in like Nintendo or whoever's made the game, they want to try to convince you to buy like the season pass where you just get everything.
Yeah.
But usually it's like post game content.
Yeah.
And so you're not, if you end up like not even finishing the main game, then you never even get around to the DLC.
Yeah.
So,
Rosa,
I don't know. It kind of depends on the DLC, but I have read somewhere that this is kind of like, well, I really forget the wording. It's that, which is terrible, because if I had the wording, it would be pretty obvious. But this is kind of like phase 1, basically.
oh,
So I get the feeling they're going to release more waves.
I've not heard that about this game. I've heard that about other Toys to Life game, obviously, like Disney Infinity when they were releasing stuff. Skylanders when they were releasing stuff for that. I remember hearing those sorts of conversations happening, but I do not actually remember that being a conversational piece when it comes to this. So that's kind of interesting. Rose F. Death asks, looks like more conversations happening on YouTube. I don't know if he's talking about me like going like that, but yeah, if you have not heard, my children are hanging out with me at the moment, and they have decided to be loud, and they're needing help. They're just small children, that's why they need help. Hold on a second. No, don't. Hold on. Okay, hold on.
Shall I continue rambling about something? Just the nod. Okay, what should I ramble about now? I've kind of talked about Starlink. Well, yeah, I mean, I have definitely heard that there's going to be more waves of Starlink. Which is kind of an interesting thing. So our next, you know what? I'm actually, Matt can join in on this when he can, but I am going to, actually, no. So we have on our Discord a new text channel where users on Discord can send us questions to answer on the show. We've got 3 questions there, but all 3 of them are related to Super Smash Bros. So we're probably just going to have to move on to our feature. Super Smash Bros. I'll just pretend like Matt isn't coming back and just start talking about Super Smash Bros. Without him, which feels weird. So, actually, to start out, just a warning / disclaimer, whatever you want to call it, that if it just so happens, which would be weird, that you haven't seen the Nintendo or the Super Smash Bros. Direct from yesterday, November 1st, there's going to be major spoilers here. If you'd rather see it in the Direct itself.
Major spoilers.
Yes.
So many
Here
spoilers.
comes Matt again.
You don't want to even hear.
Spoilers up the wazoo.
Yeah. Hi, beautiful. Hi, wife. Hello. So happy she's here.
All is well. Just in time for us to talk Smash Bros.
Yes. Do we want to jump into the
Spoilers,
topic, or
again.
do we want to go over either the
Incineroar.
questions? Sorry,
I told
what?
you there'd be spoilers.
What?
Sorry. I was just yelling out like the new fighter reveals.
Oh.
For
Well,
anyone who's dumb enough to stay around, even though we warned about spoilers.
yeah. Do you want
Just kidding.
to?
No one's dumb. You're all great.
I got it, hon. I got it. Do we want to go directly into the topic, going over the Smash Brothers Direct, or do we want to talk because you're leaving, or do we want to go over the questions from the Discord before we get into that?
Let's start with those questions from the Discord just
Okay.
as a launching point, and we definitely want to get to them. We don't want to like be talking about other stuff so much that we forget. So let's get
we
to it.
will. By the way, we will be taking questions from like Twitter and other sources as well. Sometimes, so
anytime.
don't be afraid that like we won't ever see what somebody else is saying. I'm trying to open up this. There we go. Rose F. Death was actually asking some stuff inside of the Twitch chat, so I apologize, Rose F. Death, for not noticing that. I had one of those terrible ads over my chat window, and that's why I didn't see that, so my apologies. But we're going to go ahead and start with a question from Rose F. Death. So this is our Discord. There will be a link in the description below that you can join and hang out with us in Discord. Don't be like scared of it. It's a really, really simple platform. I only say that because I was scared of it because I didn't understand it. Now I understand it a lot better, and I'm not nearly as scared of it. I know that sounds really weird and doesn't make any sense, but I'm an old man, so that's how
It's
I
fun.
rock.
Yeah,
It is.
and we don't bite. We're very friendly, even if we don't recognize
And-
you at first. Sorry.
And I have some big plans. I want to tell you right
course.
now, there are some really, really, really big plans coming up for this Discord with a lot of fun things, opportunities to win prizes, and just all sorts of stuff. I don't want to give away anything right now, but there are some really cool things that's going to be happening inside the Discord, so you're going to want to join it. I guarantee that. Rose F. Death asked, inside of our Discord, in fact, is there any excitement for the announced Amiibos? Holly.
An excellent question.
It really is, because I think we all had the
'Cause
fire.
the hype has died down.
So very much the hype has died
Okay.
down in comparison. So is there still any hype?
For me, not much. Like, really, the only amiibo that they have shown and confirmed, which, you know, they've basically confirmed that, like, all the new characters are going to get amiibo, but they haven't really shown them yet.
Yeah.
But Young Link is coming sometime in 2019. That's the only one that I'm really wanting to get. I'm kind of, like, divided on maybe I'll get Isabelle.
I think Isabelle looks weird, by the way. I don't know if I'm
Maybe
the only...
Inkling.
I don't know if I'm the only person that feels this way, but I legitimately don't like the way Isabelle looks in this game. It looks scary. She looks like she has nubs for feet, and it's just like
Well,
really... It's
That's what she looks like in her game.
But in her
Animal
game,
Crossing.
it works. This is the first time I've ever seen a Smash Brothers game where the art style does not work well for the character, in my opinion. What do you guys think in the chat? Let me know what your thoughts are. I think she looks odd. But getting back to the amiibo question,
But as an amiibo,
Yes.
she's darn cute.
very adorable.
As always.
Very adorable. Yes.
So she's a maybe. Maybe Pichu. I don't know. But yeah, Young Link is really the only one that I'm really considering right now.
I guess the big question though, right, is like, what are we getting these amiibos for? I think before I was getting them, I can honestly say I was not getting them for like to play with them in games, because I knew that the functionality would never be cool enough that I would want to use them to play in a game. I mean, I tried.
Yeah, like Starlink. Starlink does, like, speaking of like games or toys to life, like Starlink nails it in my opinion.
Yeah,
I
it's a
love it.
legitimate
But
toy.
amiibo,
Yeah, exactly.
they're just collectibles.
They are. So, like, I knew when I was getting into it, I was only doing it for collectible reasons. And even though I never got Cloud, which I feel bad because I really wanted Cloud, the last one that I bought was Ryu, which is a long time ago at this point, obviously. I wanted to get Cloud, never did. Wanted to get Bayonetta, never did. Like,
Did Cloud ever come out?
I believe so, yeah. Cloud did come out at GameStop as an exclusive. I'm almost positive. But,
Oh, I hate the exclusives
yeah,
too. Like,
yeah.
I mean, the hype was so big at first and stuff, and I think Nintendo's strategy of making them kind of difficult to find by making, you know, retailer exclusives and stuff. Like that might have worked out for them,
Yep.
but it didn't work out for
Not
a lot of
fans.
us, and now we're all
Yep.
burnt out on it.
I think I'm a little burnt out, but when it comes to only getting the ones that you're looking for, like I think out of all these, out of everybody that's been announced, out of every single person, barring the DLC that we don't know about yet, honestly, I want Ken because I need to complete my Street Fighter amiibo. Basically, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. So for me, I would want to get Ken. But what about? So let's move on to the next question. I think because I think we answered that one okay, and I gotta quickly help with something real quick. So, trying to buy time. Your phone? I don't have your phone. You need my. Oh,
Whose question do you want to do next?
I don't know. Blind hostilities.
Blind Hostilities question, which is, what are your thoughts and opinions on Super Smash? Let's see, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now that everything has been announced.
Yes, I'm
And
so
he adds,
happy.
Let's go Piranha Plant.
I'm so happy. Crash is not in this game. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, it was a serious question from Blind Hostility.
Okay, I'll give it a serious answer.
Let's not rub the lack of Crash and Smash into Blind Hostility's face.
I love everything that I'm seeing. I got in not an argument on Twitter. I know that's odd. I got into a conversation on Twitter. And on Twitter, the person said they had no excitement for this game. They weren't going to buy it, and they thought it looked horrible. And they said that they've shown off everything in the game. There's nothing new. There's not enough interesting things, not enough good ideas, all that kind of stuff. That's what they were saying. And I said, yes, but you're forgetting the most important part about this whole thing is that it's a game that you play, and playing this game is going to be phenomenal, obviously, right? And he said he didn't feel like the gameplay had differed enough from something like Smash for Wii U that he didn't feel the necessity to play it. And I said, okay, that's fine. I don't really think that it's going to play that differently in comparison, but I put my Wii U away. I don't play my Wii U in any capacity anymore. I don't mind buying games that I love for this system that I know I'm just trying to get on. You know what I mean? Like, I want to take this wherever I go, and I want to take Smash Brothers wherever I go. And at this point, Smash Brothers for the 3DS is not doing it for me like it used to. So I want to upgrade. I want to get Smash Brothers Ultimate. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game with so much stuff. Am I going to play like all the things that they talked about? Honestly, probably not. The Spirit mode or the adventure mode that they showed off is honestly not that cool of a looking adventure mode, in my opinion. It looks very much like a, buy the books, go to stage, go to stage, go to stage, go to stage, which is fine. It's just an excuse to play more Smash Brothers. But I'm not going to lie to myself. This is not. I don't believe that this is as big a jump as the GameCube to Wii was. This honestly does feel like Wii to Wii U. Does that make sense? Is that a good analogy?
Yeah, like it's just like a ton more content. You know what's funny is that I used to complain about classic mode in the Wii U version of Smash Bros. Because it was like there was nothing really unique about it. They didn't break up the monotony of just fighting battle after battle after battle with like, break the targets. Well, I don't think they did that anyway. Even if they did, I hated Target Smash, like the new version of breaking targets. I hated that. Either way, like I just felt like classic mode was just like, it's just like every other mode. You just do a fight and then do another fight. And there's not even anything interesting about the fights. So I am like going back to the adventure mode that we have here with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We have kind of the same thing where it's just like you say, Matt, just another excuse to play more Smash Brothers. But at least they're changing it up by like adding interesting, I guess.
The story mechanic, I think, sounds interesting.
Yeah, and they're making like they're trying to like tweak the battles to where they're not like your regular battle against like people on the couch with you,
What do you think about like they messed around with this idea a little bit with both amiibos and also with the Mii fighters with like kind of customizing your fighter and stuff like that. And that's what the spirits are going to be doing again. The fact that you can have a spirit and then you can have a supporting spirit as well. There's more customizing fighters. Did you get into customizing fighters at all in Wii U? Because to me, I like playing it's weird. When I go to like people's houses, I like playing Smash Brothers with weapons and crazy stuff happening. When I play Smash Brothers online, I prefer playing like the one-on-one, no items, Omega stage. Like I like playing it. Yeah, I like playing for glory, and I'm a little annoyed of how they're doing their internet system. But we can talk about that another time, honestly. But because I don't I don't think it's a good idea. I'll be on Nintendo. I think what you're doing with your internet strategy for matchmaking is not a good idea at all. But that could just be me. That could just be me. I don't know. Do you have any?
I didn't see anything special with it. In fact, I kind of miss like For Glory. It just has like a ring to it. It's great as like a name for a mode. And I thought that was matchmaking, was basically doing all the matchmaking that they talked about in this direct anyway, like taking your global smash power, trying to match you up with somebody.
But they're taking that they're taking your choice away, which is what I don't like. It's like, well, you can have preferred settings. It's like, I can have preferred settings, but why not just let me enter preferred settings, right? Like when you entered For Glory and then you picked your selection of fights on the Wii U, what you were doing is you were telling the system, I want to do a one-on-one match with no items and on the Omega type stage. That's what you were telling the system. Now I have to enter these what's it called, variations into preferredness to my settings, and then enter this mode and hope that it finds somebody else that's coupled like that. But there's a chance that I'm going to go against somebody that doesn't have that, and it's like, well, they were closer to you, so we're going to match you up anyways. It's like, but I didn't want to play with weapons. I did not want to do this. You're not going by my preferred settings.
Well, playing with preferred settings, I mean, it'll just randomly pick someone's settings. So
that's the problem.
It's kind
random.
of a casual aspect of it. Well, that's like exactly what the Wii U and 3DS versions did. Like it would like alternate. It would like choose a random person to do all the rules and have all the controls. And they could choose, and then next time it might be your turn to choose some rules.
Not For Glory.
Just this time you enter your rules beforehand, and then it just picks one so that you don't have to go through the trouble of watching somebody else pick rules for you. Don't you remember this?
Not on For Glory though. For Glory was one-on-one battles, stock, 3 lives. And it was set to, I think, like 3 minutes or something like that. And
when you do, I'm sure that there will be a mode where you can just do battles like that.
Not according to this.
It's called ranked.
Not according to this.
Like, there's the preferred rules mode where it's really casual, and then there's the ranked.
They said they were taking that away, Holly. Rewatch that part of the direct. That's
I'll have to. There was so much information.
There was a lot.
It's
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that there will be serious battles like that. Like
not it.
Some of it could be open for interpretation. Like I'm pretty sure that it'll still be in there because
we'll see.
The information just flies at your face.
Chat, what do you think?
And they didn't even detail all of it. They talked about matchmaking stuff, and then suddenly they're talking about what were they talking about that wasn't actually matchmaking related? It was weird. Some of it, I was like, wow, this is going in all sorts of directions.
Well, I mean, they spent a lot of time talking about the settings. Honestly, like they became our user manual. Like there was. I mean, they literally covered everything.
You know what to expect.
Yes, there's nothing. That's what I'm telling you, Holly. That's how I know they're taking away the seriousness out of online play. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much content that they could never show it all. Like they didn't talk about Cruel Smash. There was a mode called Cruel Smash.
I remember that.
Listed there, and I thought, are they going to talk about that? And they never did. And I was like, okay, there's like a ton of stuff that they are just unable to talk about. So
at this point, I don't think they're unable to talk about anything. They are picking and choosing because obviously they can find time. Okay, let's go into our last question very quickly. Otherwise, we're not going to have time to get through our questions because we do want to get to our main topic. So Eli says,
this is our main topic. Smash Bros.
True. I guess that's true. A couple of things. So Benjamin in the chat room very, very quickly, he said Crash is on its 3rd owner. Might be a reason Nintendo will look to have him to avoid future problems. Crash will not be in this game unless Nintendo buys Crash Bandicoot, which they don't because they buy good properties. He will not be in this game. I will eat my hat. I'm not even wearing a hat. I will find a hat. I will put the hat on my head, and then I will take the hat off my head, and then I will eat the hat.
On the show, live.
Yes, on the show.
Crash is one of the DLC characters.
If Crash gets in this game, I will eat my hat. I have more hope that we just had some sort of announcement in the chat. I'm not sure who. Hold on a second. Somebody has passed away. His name was Mario Segal.
Oh.
He was.
There is
he was
what do they call that? Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news. We got a scoop right now. He was the person that Mario was named after. This is the man that Mario was named after. So in a very small way, as odd as this may sound, Mario has passed away. Like honestly, like that's crazy.
Yeah, in one
Yeah.
weird way. Of
Thoughts and
thinking
prayers
about it,
go
'cause I
to
don't think
his.
Mario will actually die, but
Well, probably not. But
he'll live on
he will. He will live on through this video
because
game
he is
character
the
that will.
namesake.
That is crazy. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Mario Segal, who died today at 84 years
Well,
old. Crazy.
his family.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about sending thoughts and prayers to him. Everyone has a different idea of what happens after death. So
yeah. Who knows?
but yeah, to
positive
the family,
energy.
for sure,
Positive energy.
Yes,
Okay.
out into the universe for sure.
Okay, so moving onwards and upwards towards the question from Eli. The 5 downloadable characters that have not been developed yet. What characters do you want, and why are they worthy of being in Smash? I thought this was a really good question. Honestly, we're not going to be able to name 5 characters apiece. I haven't thought that much about it personally.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I could name 5.
Exactly. I really don't know if I honestly could, but I do have a couple that I can think of off the top of my head. That I have thought about as well. So, Holly, do you have one before I say mine?
Okay, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to say this one because I feel like it's already been implied. I'm going to say Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is going to get in there, even though, I mean, they're making the costume for him.
Sword fighter? Another sword fighter?
Yeah. Well, he could be a really unique character because he works with Pyra. Pyra is his like primary blade.
Mm-hmm.
You might not know the mechanics of the game very well, but
no.
He and Pyra are like a single unit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you've seen the trailers at least, then you know the story trailers anyway. And this isn't much of a spoiler because it is in the trailers. It's like the first thing that happens in the game is that Rex actually gets killed, and Pyra, being a blade and a very special blade, yes, Rex is dead the whole game. Spoiler alert. Just kidding. No, she brings him back using half of her life force. And so they are a pair. They're inseparable. You can't, like, that's why it was almost weird to see, like, oh, you got this Rex costume for Mii fighters and stuff like that. But where's Pyra? So he could be a really unique fighter.
Maybe Pyra and not Rex will be in the game.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, any Xenoblade Chronicles 2 character would be would make me very happy. So maybe Elma, even from Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I'm gonna go really old school with my pick. I'm gonna do retro. I'm gonna go back to the NES. I'm gonna go to the black box NES games. This one I've joked about in the past. Actually, I wrote an article years ago at this point for, I don't remember if it was GameGravy.com or if it was NintendoFever.com. I can't remember which one it was, but I did 5 characters that I would like to see in Smash Brothers. And one,
convenient.
Yes, I don't remember the article's at though, so like I don't know who I picked during that time. I know I picked this person though. This one I know that I picked. I believe I even picked him as number 1, honestly. But it's a person from the video game, from the NES, from back in the day, from pro wrestling. That is who it was. It was a guy from pro wrestling. His name was Starman, or maybe the Amazon. Any of those pro wrestling guys. I think it'd be cool almost if they did like the Pokemon trainer, how he has Charizard, Bulbasaur, not Bulbasaur. Is it Bulbasaur? No, it's not Bulbasaur. Ivysaur and Squirtle, yes. They do this 3-person tag, right? In professional wrestling, there is a tag team match. There's even, triple tag team matches and stuff like that. So I think it'd be cool if they built a character around having like 2 or 3 of these wrestling characters from pro wrestling, and you were able to tag them in and tag them out the same way that they do with the Pokemon trainer.
That would work really well.
Okay, Holly, I'm not going to lie. I was only going to say one wrestler right now, and that idea just came to my head right now. I'm really proud of that idea. That's a really good idea.
It just came out of thin air.
It really
awesome.
did. I think that's a great idea. We need to make this happen. I'm going to write out like a developer, what's it called? Like when they have like the idea booklet and they come up with all the ideas for it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this. This is a great idea that I just had. And everyone heard it here. So when they do it eventually in Smash Brothers, that it's like the breath of fresh air for Zelda. I came up with the title. I came up with it.
Sort of, yeah.
Oh,
way before Honest Trailers, and I think I mentioned this to you before, but yeah, at the end of Honest Trailers, like they'll come up with like a joke kind of nickname for the movie or whatever. And for Zelda, they called it Breath of Fresh Air, but this is obviously after the game came out, so I was like, totally stole Matt's idea.
All in my head.
Jeez.
All in my head.
Now, okay, I have a question for you. It's totally relevant right now.
Okay.
What do you think of Incineroar? I was thinking to myself, they've designed it to be like a pro wrestler style character. Like, what
Yeah.
does Matt think about this?
Yeah. I mean, he looks like he has a title belt around his waist with the flame belt and stuff like that. I want to see him perform a little bit more because he's definitely very Pokemon-ish still. Like he still has like I mean they're all cartoon characters. I get that. Like I'm not looking for like a deep wrestling game inside of my Smash Brothers game or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. But he looked like a heavy.
All the poses.
Yeah, and he looked like a heavy, which I don't mind heavy characters. I play Ike obviously, and he's a very heavy, slow character as well. I don't know. I'm so excited to play Ryu and Ken and Cloud and Ike again. Like I'm so excited to play like the people that I like in this game like so much that I haven't really looked at like a lot of the new people, to be honest. Like I asked a question inside of our Discord. I said, "Who are you most excited to play with when the game comes out?" Right? And like mine is probably Ken. Like, and I know that's like a cop out because I already play as Ryu and they're literally Echo Fighters to one another. But I like that play style inside of this crazy game. I think it works very well. Who is your character that you want to play with before anybody else when you get this game? Are you going to go back to an oldie, a main character that you like to use, or are you going to try out somebody new right away?
Well, I did put in the Discord that I want to try out Incineroar, and maybe that was just because of the hype at the time.
Yeah.
But I still would pick Incineroar. But then I was thinking about it, and I was all like, "There's only 8 characters to begin with. I don't know how long it's going to take me to unlock Incineroar.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how it's.
Never
gonna
mind. Ken is not an option. It turns out I cannot play. I guess Mario.
with the original 8, who are you going to start out with? I would probably just go with Link. He's kind of my fallback.
Probably do
always.
Mario. Probably go Mario. What about you guys? Who are you going to be going with the original 8? And then after you unlock everybody, pretending that it was the first time that you booted up the game, you take it over to a friend's house. This is what happens is you put in all the work, right, Holly? You put in all the work, and then you bring it over to a friend's house and like, oh, there's only 74 characters. And it's like, do you know how long it took me to unlock all 74 characters? A long time. A long time.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll come a lot quicker than some of the, like Melee, I feel like had up to this point like the best balance of unlocking characters because there weren't so many that it's like, well, it'd be ridiculous if we made them like play this so many hours to unlock Mewtwo again or whatever.
Yeah.
So
they could never get away with that
like
again.
There were some fun ways to unlock characters in Melee.
Could they get away with that again? Could they like make it so that you had to have like, I don't know, 100 logged game hours before you unlocked a character inside of Smash Brothers for the Switch? Like, do you think they could get away with that again?
Maybe Mewtwo.
But part of the reason why
at this point, no.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I'm asking.
Everyone just wants all those characters to be unlocked so that they can play whoever they want. With Melee and oh my gosh, the original
Smash Brothers,
it worked pretty well.
Yeah, it was just called Smash Brothers. Do you think that's because you didn't know who you were going to unlock, though? Like, you didn't know how many people you're going to get in general. You didn't know the characters that were going to be available to become unlocked. Like, there was no... Like, you could have played... Like, I'm trying to think of who the hardest character to unlock in Melee was. It was probably Mewtwo, right? Like, wasn't it like 100 hours or something crazy like that to be able to unlock Mewtwo? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
I think in Melee there were 2 ways to unlock Mewtwo, but one of them took like a lot of skill. So you had to... So an alternate way to unlock Mewtwo was to just play yay many like hours worth of smashes, not just to have the game on for that long.
Yes. So part of the reason why that works so well, though, was because for a lot of people, myself included, I did not know that I was going to unlock Mewtwo. So like after playing the game organically for that long, and then all of a sudden you see like one more new challenger approaching, like that was it's one of those things that they can get away with because you're not expecting it, so you're not working towards it.
Yeah, things are way different.
So different.
The internet is much more prevalent.
It sucks. It's horrible.
Than back then.
It's horrible. The internet's terrible. Terrible.
We have Benjamin saying that he'll play as Link until Zelda is unlocked.
Yeah. Also, Rosef Des said, didn't they say, or did I misinterpret it? Holly, you'll have to interpret it for us. That they were from games not used in game yet. Did you hear that in the direct at all? I don't remember that at all.
Games not used in the game yet. Oh yes, that was specified.
Was it?
that games that like haven't even been represented.
Has pro wrestling been represented in Smash Brothers yet?
No,
I don't think so.
But Xenoblade, okay, my Rex choice still stands because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 specifically there's no fighter from that game.
No
yet.
fighter, but there's a
We got
costume.
Shulk, whatever, but
There's a costume.
that doesn't count either.
How-
That's called a Mii fighter.
Yeah, but it's a
It's
costume.
not called Rex.
It's a
It's called a Mii fighter.
It's called Rex. It's not Rex. Okay. Wart
It's a
From-
Mii fighter.
Wart from Super Mario Brothers 2 also is what Benjamin said, and I thought that was a pretty funny remark. I think that's great.
I think Matt is in a bad mood tonight.
I'm
He's
not.
I'm just kidding. I think it's me. I'm so contradictory tonight.
You're always
So contrary. I'm very contrary.
You've been more and more contrary ever since you started college. When you got acquainted with the real world, you're just like, this place sucks. Everything doesn't. No, it's terrible. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh yeah, we can't seem to agree on anything tonight, though. It's weird.
It's great. It's wonderful. Because you're wrong and I'm right.
No, I
All right.
thought it was the other way. Oh, whatever.
What do you want to what do you want to get to next for our Smash Brothers? Is there anything major that we want to talk about? Revolving around it, honestly.
Did you mention Wart from Super Mario Bros. 2, though?
Yeah, I just said that.
Another pick of Benjamin's.
Yeah, I just said that from.
How did
Benjamin.
I miss that?
I don't know. Can you, Holly? Can you hear me? Yeah, that's real funny.
I'm just kidding.
I'm the one doing all the technical stuff. Rose F. Death just said he's wrestling. He has wrestling on the brain and wants to fight. Exactly.
Ha.
I'm ready to watch my
So
next.
it's Matt's fault.
I'm ready to
not
watch
mine.
my next pay-per-view. Are you going to be playing with the GameCube controller? That's the question I want to ask you. Are you gonna be doing the GameCube controller system, or do you have a preference of how you're going to be playing this game?
Ideally, I will be playing with a GameCube controller, but obviously, if I'm on the go, I'm playing in handheld mode most likely, and I don't care. It's just casual. Like, don't hate me just because I'm gonna want to play in handheld mode once in a while.
Yeah.
Jeez. And I will definitely try out the Switch Pro controller. I mean, I'm getting the special edition Pro controller.
Oh, are you?
So, may as well try it out.
I'm not really worried about playing with the GameCube controller or not GameCube controller. I have a.
I mean, it's like an extra whole thing you have to set up. There's cords. It is kind of a pain, but
Power
it can
A.
work it.
Power A is selling a wireless GameCube controller styled controller for the Switch. It's wireless.
I know that it's cheaper than just buying a Pro controller or a GameCube controller,
Yes.
probably. But the thing with third-party stuff is, even if it's got the Nintendo seal of quality, it's gonna break after a couple months on you.
Yeah, I don't play. I think that they can, especially for people who play pretty regularly. I play so irregular. I play Smash Brothers a lot. That's the one game that I do put a lot of time into usually. But I will say that I believe that there's a possibility of it being decent quality, just because I've heard so many good things about Power A. I mean, if you go online and you watch videos from like Austin Evans and Ken Jensen, like there's a lot of people that do things, and they're giving it pretty good pretty good reviews on these Power A controllers, saying that they're usually pretty well worth the money. So I'm going to look into it, honestly, because it is cheaper than a Pro controller. And believe it or not, I don't actually have a Pro controller. I only have 2 sets of Joy-Cons, and that's only because one of my Joy-Cons broke, so I had to buy another set of Joy-Cons. So technically, I only have 3 working Joy-Cons as well. Rose F. Death says, Power A has my okay. And besides the fact that rhymes, and I thought that was great, I trust Rose F. Death a ton. Honestly, I do. Like, he is somebody that I believe knows quality when he deals with it. So if he says they're okay, I don't even think I have to worry anymore at this point.
Yeah, and you get oftentimes you just kind of get what you pay for. If you pay for a third-party thing that is cheaper, then it's just not going to be the same quality.
Yeah, you have to expect that. You have to
okay.
completely. I agree. Okay, so is there anything else that we need to touch on? Anybody from the chat have any questions that they'd like to ask, or any thoughts about Super Smash Brothers from the Direct or in general that you'd like to get off your chest? It's been so long since the announcement of this game and like the arrival of all the characters that are in it. Like, part of me is almost forgetting stuff in this game, like even from the Direct today, like because there's so much stuff covered, obviously.
That was yesterday.
Or yesterday. See, I have no concept of time at all. This game's going to come out tomorrow for me, basically, so that's cool. But honestly, people like Ridley. I had forgotten that Ridley was a character that's going to be in this game as a Smash character. Like that's how my brain has just been oddly functioning about this
So
stuff.
much. There was so much like fan service shown in this direct. So I'm curious to ask you, Matt, actually, about like if there's any like just fan service where you're like, I love that.
I mean, Kirby.
Besides Ken.
Kirby.
Oh, Kirby.
Let's talk about Kirby.
Yes.
Let's talk about the story mode or the adventure mode or however they're going to kind of position it. There was a beautiful 5-minute cutscene at the very end of this direct that was absolutely stunning.
Yes.
A lot of people are using a lot of past Smash games to like build a narrative around what is going on in this scene, because in 2008 for Smash Brothers for Wii, they're all standing on the edge of a cliff. And then on the direct ending of this one, they're at the edge of a cliff as they're about to be met with this horde of what seems to be the Master Hands. Like there's just a sky filled with Master Hands that are flying down. Then all of a sudden, they all go to this center point and it explodes, and then all these rays of lights come out of everywhere, and it starts to suck up all the Nintendo characters except for one. Only one survives. Kirby. And he survives by doing his like hyperspeed dash thing on his star. It's like a really cool moment, and then he appears out of nowhere, and he like realizes it's cool. Like he stands at the edge of this like plateau, and he looks down and he sees like this world that has all the different Nintendo worlds basically merged.
Universes clashing,
which is really cool looking.
Visually, and that music that's playing, and I love the lyrics, I love the vocals. Oh my goodness,
the song was terrible. It was so cheesy. It was so cheesy.
I'm sure the lyrics aren't like super serious.
Oh my gosh,
I love the vocals, and I like the words. I mean, it's just kind of nonsense, but this is Nintendo, and it's a mashup of Nintendo.
It is all nonsense, and I agree. I loved it. I did love the song because it was all nonsense. Like it's trying to make light, or not make light. It's trying to make more serious this. And there were some moments where it was like legitimately kind of like, man, that's intense. Like when like the Inklings like are just squirting ink on the ground, and then they like jump in them as squids, and then all of a sudden they just get absorbed in the ray of light. It's like, man, they didn't stand a chance. Like,
okay, there were some vignettes. I'm pretty sure I said that word right. It's like little teeny little stories happening here.
Yes.
And there were some that I just loved. Sonic like running as fast as he could and reaching out for Pikachu. Oh.
It's the truth. Or Mewtwo and Zelda up in the sky, like they're both trying to like get their shields on at the same time and stuff. Like there was a lot of just absolutely. This was cool. Nintendo just being like the most Nintendo thing that we could ever imagine. Like this is
it just did something to our hearts,
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I was at work, and I was literally like at my desk, and I was like watching it, and like my eyes just like kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Like I couldn't control the size of my eyes as I was watching this.
It just escalates, and then Kirby's like escaping and stuff, and you're just like, Kirby.
Exactly, it really was. It was pretty fantastic. Are you guys excited for
Kirby survives, and it's like, something just happened to my heart. I don't know what.
Benjamin just said Super Smash Brothers Infinity War. Very much so. There's actually been some of the. I love the internet. I absolutely love the internet, and the reason why I love the internet is for moments like this, because as soon as the direct ended and everyone was able to make their like gifs and their memes and stuff like that, one of the best ones that I saw was where, have you seen Infinity War? Has everyone? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna spoil it.
Okay, Infinity War spoilers coming right up.
Infinity, so 3, 2, 1, now. So the part where they kill off Thanos, and then he raises his hand up and he does the snap, and it takes all the time back, and he's able to win. So what happens inside this meme that I watched? Fantastic meme. Love this meme. Literally, it shows somebody getting stabbed. Who was it? Oh, it was Sakurai, because it said that Sakurai's finally snapped, is what it said. So he gets stabbed, right? And then all of a sudden he like raises his hand. It's obviously Thanos, but it's with Sakurai's face, and he snaps, and then this whole thing just gets destroyed and stuff like that. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. It really was. Another one.
Comparison is inevitable.
Yes, another one that I saw was it was just a text one, and it said Sakurai created Kirby. Sakurai created Smash Brothers. Sakurai is Kirby. Kirby destroys Smash Brothers. It's just like a weird, like nonsensical path. I'm gonna try to jump to my Twitter real quick, because I just want to. There was a couple that were just so good.
Kirby, the word Kirby, not even like the hashtag or anything, but the word Kirby was trending, and I don't think that I have my like trending tags like I guess, you know how they will customize them to you? Well, I think I have mine to be not customized. So with no customization at all, Kirby was trending on Twitter, just the word Kirby.
Yeah. No, Kirby was legit trending. Yeah, he was. Kirby was getting all the love today, and everybody was happy to see him survive the way that he did. Like, it was really cool. So I'm going to show off a couple of these from my Twitter feed real quick, because I think that they're...
Real quick, I want to talk about Infinity War a little bit, in that, like, I was massively disappointed with, like, how they handled that, like, everybody disappearing.
Why? That's how...
Nobody's like freaking out about it and stuff. It's just like, some people have some overly emotional faces on, but...
Bad news,
But then you just see, like, everybody just standing there looking all depressed, and it's like, bleh.
Bad news.
And this was so action-packed, and everyone's, like, fighting against it, and I'm like, oh, go! This is so intense.
I love your love of superhero movies, Holly. It's great.
Oh, I love Marvel Cinematic Universe. Infinity War is amazing.
Okay.
I just thought the ending was a little weirdly done.
Okay, Holly,
but...
have you played? Are you familiar enough with Fortnite to know what #1 Victory Royale means?
It means that you won against like 99 other people.
Right. Okay. So this picture has Kirby standing at the plateau, looking into the big world of all the different universes merging in together, and above it says Victory Royale with Kirby underneath it. It's pretty great. Sakurai just wanted to make a Kirby game so bad he had to kill all the Smash Brother characters to do it. It says,
yeah, I read that one.
Sakurai created Kirby. Sakurai created Smash. Sakurai is Kirby, and Sakurai will save Smash. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, and this is going back to what I was talking about before with the vignettes, but so anyone who's played Kid Icarus Uprising, like, Palutena gets taken out as she's trying to shield. And if you'll notice, she's actually trying to shield Pit and Dark Pit, and it's so sweet, and I love it. Anyway, but when she gets taken out, she provides Pit and sort of Dark Pit in the game with the power of flight. So when she gets taken out, you'll notice that they, like, stop flying, and they're, like, about to plummet, and then they get taken out, and it's just... There's so many crazy things. And another thing that I thought was hilarious was the way that the Wii Fit trainer and Duck Hunt and one other character that I can't even remember who it was. Like, if you notice when they get taken out, it's weird. They don't even seem to be, like, running away from it necessarily. Wii Fit trainer's just posing away.
Oh, yeah.
And Duck Hunt Dog is kind of, I don't even know.
There's a great one. There's a great one that I also saw that said, when your friends are all getting taken and the only thing you can think to do is yoga.
Yes, exactly. It makes me laugh every time I see it, and I've probably seen it about 10 times now.
Yes.
I like rewatching that trailer a lot.
I said that because it's called World of Light. I said my wallet will see a lot of light because it will be empty when I buy all the stuff that's included in this. And then my favorite tweet.
Yeah, I'm buying the Fighter's Pass. That's another question that we can ask. Like the Fighter Pass for $25, it'll get you all 5 DLC fighters.
Probably my favorite tweet that came from the... Yeah, everyone's going to buy it. There's no reason not to. Probably my favorite tweet that came out of this, though, is Kirby confirmed the most powerful Nintendo character. He is the only one that survived the Nintendo apocalypse. This is canon. And I thought that was great. I agree completely. He is the most powerful.
Kirby.
The most powerful.
It just makes me feel so fuzzy, warm and fuzzy about Kirby, and I've always loved Kirby, but I love him even more now. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so
intense.
I think that's going to do it for the show, honestly. Thank you guys so much for watching and being a part of it. Holly, is there any final things you want to say about Kirby or Smash Brothers or Nintendo or whatever? Just anything. Anything at all is good.
Nope, I'm just way hyped. I'm excited to see... I'm sure they're going to do some more cutscenes, actually, and I'm pretty excited to see like how the story plays out, because I just love seeing those Nintendo characters all together mashed up like that, and I want to see some more cutscenes. And obviously there's going to be probably some somewhat significant voice acting to go along with it, so it should be a fun little story, even though the gameplay might not be like super different from what you're normally doing in Smash Bros.
Yeah, that I think is definitely true. I think that it's going to be... I think all these modes are more excuses to play Smash Brothers, and I'm okay with that. I got no problem with it at all.
Me neither.
We are a weekly Nintendo podcast that happens on YouTube and on twitch.tv/Nintendo Fever. You can find us at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time every single Friday. We are also a audio podcast that you can find on iTunes, Google Play, and at nintendofever.com as well. If you have questions, I would highly recommend you go to our Discord and be a part of our community there, because it is the absolute best way to be a part of our community. Honestly, it is. We will be doing fun stuff, giveaways, all sorts of things are going to be going on as we get further and further down the road with it. I have some exciting stuff to announce, hopefully, very soon with that. So, that's about all I got to say. You can find me on Twitter at OnlyMattDezen. You can find Holly at Little Red Koopa. You can find the podcast at Nintendo Fever. And until next time, keep on gaming. Bye.
Bye.